In this video, we're going to talk about reincarnation and the 9 lesson plans in life to get you to a stage of completion before death. So we're going to get deep here. We're going to talk about some ancient spiritual Chinese philosophies and some really interesting stuff that I think you'll like. So sit tight. Welcome back to another video. I'm Jen. We're going to get a little bit deep here. We're going to talk a little philosophical on a more spiritual nature about these 9 life lessons, okay? Lesson plans for our life to be able to die in completion so that we're not reincarnated. What do I mean by that? Okay, well, we're going to get into it, but first let me just say, if you have not done so, please subscribe. I put out a video every single morning. I like to bridge the gap, if there is a gap, between Eastern medicine, modern day philosophies, reality creation, law of attraction, personal development, all boom, all together. So these are based on ancient Chinese philosophies, or maybe they even go back further, but you have 9 lessons in your life in order to die in completion. So the goal for us is to not be reincarnated. And now if you don't believe in reincarnation, that's fine. But I'm going to give you a little history here, a little what I'm trying to say based off the ancient traditions. So in these traditions, reincarnation was looked at as something that happens to us humans, where we keep repeating a lesson, something we need to learn because we haven't fulfilled one of these 9 life lessons for ourselves. So say you've checked 8 off the list and you still have number 9 outstanding, or one of those 9 outstanding, then what the ancient tradition is saying is that you're going to remain on the level of humanity, the dimension of humanity, and be reincarnated to a similar path, to a similar challenge, until you meet the expectation, until you meet that lesson, until you overcome that lesson to a state of completion, a state of total non-attachment, no judgment, and holism, basically. And that thus gets you to the level of a dimension other than this dimension of humanity, beyond humanity. So it's an interesting thing when you think about it, because you know, these lessons I'm going to give you, they make a lot of sense. They make a lot of sense for us, for the world as a whole, and we can see where we might be, what areas might be outstanding to us, what areas we need to work on for ourselves in order to reach this state of completion, this state of wholeness in our lives, or at least bring us to a point where we get closer and closer to it. So the idea here is that after we die, we have a little life review of these 9 lesson plans, and we see if we've completed them or not, or if we need to go back and be reincarnated and do it all over again. So the key is not to be stuck in this cycle of having to repeat the process and keep trying to learn the lessons over and over again. It's the key is to recognize it now and start now working on it so that we can reach this state of holism, of non-attachment. So when we do have a life review after we die, we feel completely at peace. So number 1 is health. Health of ourselves, as well as health of people we might be treating or caring for. So do we feel like we left this earth, left this place in good health? Or did we suffer through a lot of illnesses, either emotional or physical illness? And if we were taking care of other people, or say we were in a position or career where we are a healer of some sort, right? Whether it's Western medicine or Eastern medicine or whatnot, any kind of medicine, do we feel like we left our patients in good health? So that's what they're talking about, number 1, health. Number 2 is wealth. Wealth. Do we feel like we've left this earth in abundance? And abundance, we know, is not just money. It's not just paper money. It's just the state of feeling abundant, like we have everything. Do we feel like we have it, that we're in completion, or are we always seeking more? And number 3 is prosperity. Did we feel like we had enough to give to others, to share with others? Number 4, relationships. This is a hard one for a lot of people. Do we feel like we've left our time here without any outstanding relationships, with good relationships with our kids, with our parents, with our siblings, with our peers? Or was there something in our life or someone in our life where we never worked things out? So that's what they're talking about here with relationships. Is there anything outstanding in your life right now, in a relationship in your life, that could be better, that should be better, that feels a little disjointed to you? So that's relationships. Number 5, creativity. Did you leave the world and were able to express yourself? Did you leave something in the world that made it a better place? Did you leave some sort of legacy or something people will remember you by because you were creative? And then number 6 is global. Global, this is a big one right now. Did you leave wanting the world, the earth to be a better place, or did you focus your time on everything that's wrong, on climate change or global warming or the riots right now, or pollution in the world? Or did you leave at peace, knowing that you helped make the world a better place? You wanted it to be a better place. Or did you focus all your time on the negative things, the failures of certain organizations, environmental organizations and things like that? That's what they mean by global. Number 7, knowledge. Knowledge. Were you always seeking more knowledge from outside sources? Were you always seeking, or did you feel fulfilled and then you had enough knowledge within you? And that leads to the next one, which is wisdom. Wisdom. Wisdom is the realization that it comes from inside you. Wisdom comes from inside you, not anything outside of you. Okay, so that's that realization. And then number 9, the last, is known as home. Home. Peace. Did I leave this earth? Did I die in peace? In peace. Where I fulfilled all of these other elements. Where I feel complete in all of these different lesson plans for myself. Where I now feel at home. That is the goal. That is the idea of holism, of completion. Leaving this world in a state of feeling just at peace and whole. Not that you're needing or seeking anything or lacking anything. It's also this idea that did we leave in complete resonance to who we are, who we truly are. So we're born, we have a genetic makeup, right? A genetic temperament to ourselves. But that's not 100%. That's not how we go through life usually 100%, because we have epigenetics, which is outside sources influencing us, right? Outside sources influencing us, helping us, making decisions for us, or telling us we need to be a certain way. So a lot of times we live our life not in complete balance. We don't live completely to who we are because we have the epigenetics, or the outside sources have such an influence on us that a lot of times, you know, the influence is a far greater than who we actually are, our genetic makeup, our temperament as a person, our constitutional element, you could say. You know, I've done a couple videos on the 5 elements, and which element, you know, we're born with a certain constitutional element based on who we are. And we could fit into other categories of elements based on who we're around, or what kind of position we're in, or our power, status, stuff like that. But we always fall back, we always have that constitutional element. But a lot of times it gets clouded by outside sources. Okay, so It's this idea that, did we leave this earth? Are we living authentically 100%? Or is it more like we're living our genetic makeup, we're living who we are like 10%, and then the other 90% is epigenetics, is stuff that's influencing us, like our ego and everything outside of us, external sources, media, news, family, friends, all that kind of thing. The goal is to be in alignment, heart-mind coordination, and to really be true to who we are. Because, you know, if we live our life and then we die and we realize that we died and we didn't live out our purpose or our fate or our destiny, then we may be reincarnated to repeat the lesson over and over again. So this is why it's so important to be us, to find out who we are as a person, to find out what our genetic makeup is, what is our fate, what is our purpose. A lot of times they're trying to find their purpose and the meaning in life these days. A lot of people are having a spiritual awakening. That's for a reason. It's not crazy, it's not spiritual woo-woo. It's because people are trying to figure out who the hell they are. Because they know that if they keep living this life influenced by other things, by other people, and they're not being true to themselves. So maybe on a level they know in a past life that they kept repeating the cycle because they weren't living true to themselves. And each lifetime, each chance they get, each do-over they get, plants a little seed. Almost like a little whisper in the ear saying, this is the time where you're going to do it. You're going to live out your destiny, who you're destined to be, how you're destined to share with the world, to make the world a better place. Because otherwise you're not living, you're just going through the motions of life. If you're not truly resonating to who you really are, you're just going through the motions. You're not living as you. So you're not fulfilling a purpose. You're not really living. Who are you as a person? What are you projecting out? How are you expressing yourself right now? And does that feel in alignment to who you really are? And if you don't know who you really are, then start asking yourself the question. Start trying to figure that out. Because the goal here is to reach this state of completion. You don't want to be on your deathbed realizing that you're regretting so many things, that you didn't fulfill one of these 9 lessons. Something was very outstanding and you regret it. You regret not telling your kids that you love them enough, or you regret not making amends with your mother or your father. These are things that will stick with you. So do it now. Do not wait. Do not wait. Because you want to keep repeating the lesson over and over again. You want to get it right now and reach a state of just feeling whole and complete in your life and at peace. That's the goal, peace. So with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about it or start a discussion about it. If you feel like you are living out these 9 lessons for yourself, if they make sense to you. If you haven't done so, please subscribe again. Put out a video every single morning. I appreciate you, love you, and hope you all have a wonderful day.